Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Okay, so our next speaker for today is Dr. Payal Advani. I'd like to introduce ma'am now. Dr. Payal is a certified homeopath. She's an acupuncturist from Mumbai, India. She received her BHMS degree from the University of Mumbai in 1989, and she's been practicing homeopathy. Then she realized that just homeopathy was not solely sufficient to deal with problems people faced. She felt there was a need to look at health and disease from other perspective as well, where she started venturing into other areas like access consciousness, where she is learned from Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Year. Further, she acquired knowledge in acupressure such as Sujok and became a certified Sujok specialist, as well as acupuncture and then sound healing and the Tibetan bowls. Thank you so much, Dr. Payal. Your topic again will be spirituality and education. Over to you, Dr. Payal.
Yes. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am. Very clear.
Okay, great. First of all, I'm very much honored that you have given me this wonderful opportunity to speak today. And without much delay, I would just dive into the topic. I've always wanted to speak on spirituality and education because I feel this is like a hand and glove. It is like you can't separate the two, it has to exist together. See, we give so much importance to academics, no? Right when the child is born, or even before that. The parents to be are already thinking in which school shall we put, what will be the fee structure, will we be able to manage with our earnings. But hardly anybody ever thinks about the spiritual education. I am not saying about a few parents, I'm saying about myself also. When I was a parent, I did the same. So academics has been universal for all of us. Likewise, I say spiritual sensitivity should be universal. What is the meaning of spiritual development? It is the non-material aspects of life. Do not get me wrong. I am not saying here that finance is not important. It is very, very important. But along with that, we need the basic, the core, that is spiritual sensitivity. Me being a doctor, I will give you a small example. When I see patients today with knee joint issues, right? They have knee problem and then the doctor says you have osteoarthritis of the knee. They come limping and with pain and swelling. Everyone gives them painkillers. Some even go to the point of telling them that you will need replacement. But one thing which I feel is most important is strengthening the core muscles. And once the core muscles, that is the muscles lying around your spine, once they are strengthened, you can hold your spine up much better. And as a result, your knee joints can be held in proper position. But hardly anybody explains this. Why I came to this example is because of the single word core. Just as spine is the core of our body, the core muscles are along the spine. Likewise, the core of each and every one of us should be spiritual sensitivity. That is why I came to this. Now, what does the spiritual sensitivity do? It helps us with respect to personal insights. Ever since we are born, there is so much of impressions on the external. Like our parents are teaching us, like this is the light, this is the fan, this is A, this is B, all external. Did any of us learn during that formative years that you have to introspect? Just sit quietly for 2 seconds. I'm sure none of us have done this for our children also. By telling them just be by yourself, we always landed up giving them some or the other distractions. Like see this, see that, do this, do that. Never a moment of quietness. So how will we expect them to have values, meanings, or purpose? What I mean to say is that today also we have all the people busy either on their phones or on the TV or on some music or reading a book or something. But 2 minutes, if you tell a person to sit quietly without any distractions, this is very, very difficult. If the spiritual sensitivity is not developed, how can we appreciate what, how can we experience the awe and the wonder of life? Everything becomes just, materialistic and machine driven. So we are not in that position to appreciate. Now, whenever we learn a skill, we need tools for it. And how to operate these tools. That is the total meaning of learning a skill. When we learn anything, say for example, riding a bicycle, we know that this is the brake, this is the handle, this is the tire, this is the wheel, everything we know. And we learn how to apply the different parts in order to master the skill. In the same way, spirituality has to be taught in the form of making available certain tools with which we will learn the skill of being spiritually sensitive. And as I said earlier, any skill that we learn can never ever be forgotten in life. We remember it for life. Do we forget how to ride a bicycle? Never. If our mom taught us how to make the roti, do we ever forget it? No. It sticks on. Similarly, this shall also stick on. We just need to train our children. So learning spirituality, understanding spirituality, I feel, why do we wait till we become 50 plus? And I feel that there is a lot of confusion between spirituality and religion. People equate the two, which is actually not the thing. Religion is one thing and being spiritual is another thing. We need to differentiate and treat them as two separate entities. Spirituality opens the doors to freedom, to open-mindedness, and it gives us the wisdom throughout life in each and every single thing that we do. If we check on it, how can it be done in a different way? What is a different perspective? By this, we are being spiritual. We are not being rigid and stuck on to our terms and conditions. We are seeing the other person's point of view. This is spirituality. This has to be taught. When we are taking academic education, we are, some of us are becoming doctors and engineers and pilots and name whatever. But what is happening is we are seeing, okay, if I do from this university, I get a better job opportunity. I'll go to US, I'll go to UK, whatever these things are. Yes, financial is very important. But at the end of the day, we have to have this sensitivity. You can't measure everything just with one yardstick. Now, how do we learn? What I remember is in school, we used to have moral science as a subject. I can equate it today that probably they were trying to teach us spirituality. But what did I do during those, in that period? I used to tell my teacher, my head is spinning. Can I put my head down? So that means I used to equate it with such a boring thing. And when we students used to discuss how many marks did you get in this, the competitive thing, we never asked each other how many marks did you score in moral science. We always used to ask, maths mein kitna mila, science mein kitna mila. Oh really? Okay, you scored so high, but nobody bothered about moral science. Due to this, what is happening? We are not being able to take the job pressure. We feel, oh, he's getting a higher salary. How come he's getting a higher salary than me? I have more experience. And we are not able to accept so many things, as a result of which we are getting stress. We are getting insomnia, not able to sleep at night. So if this spiritual education is included earlier in life, that would be much better. In India, Paramhans Yogananda started the school and started teaching the spirituality. We have to take the central teachings and apply it towards all the dimensions of our life, be it relationships, be it social, be it personal, be it school, business, anything. Presently, what we are teaching is that, this is right, that is wrong, all logic based. We are not teaching spirituality. Some of our children today even don't believe that there exists something like God. I don't mean to say that, we have to sit in the temples and churches and mosques and pray on for endless hours. I'm not hinting at that, but I am hinting at sensitivity. Children today are growing up with hatred towards the universe. Oh, there is global warming. Oh, there is this problem. Oh, there is that problem. I think they're counting more on the problems than on the blessings that we have. Gratitude is missing. But whose fault is it? Is it the children's fault? No. I will blame myself. We are to blame. If we have not been able to impart this to our children, we have to be the person responsible. So let me reframe. I wouldn't say that I'm speaking on the topic of spirituality and education, but I would say I am speaking on spiritual education. So once we give the tools to our children, they will learn throughout life. They will create life that has gratitude, kindness, joy, acceptance. This will be their treasure. This will be with them forever. Let us teach them to work for higher ideals, not just for temporary gains, but for higher ideals. Something that gives you joy. We have to explain to them that if there is something that gives you joy, it is so different from something, that you don't know what is giving you joy, and you are going on, like crazy shopping, or just movies after movies after movies. You're just watching this. But we have to show them, if there is nothing that you can see, what is the spiritual side of it, then money cannot buy you happiness. Money can never buy happiness. We are made of body, mind, and soul. That are the three components. If we just go on, reinforcing with respect to our body, then our mind and soul suffers. And it will be like a two-legged stool, which cannot stand by itself. So we have to take care of all these three dimensions: body, mind, and soul. There was like a discussion with a few people when I was talking to them, like, we have to teach the children sensitivity and spiritual sensitivity and be good, be kind, don't do any harm. They said, oh, okay. But when these children come out in the society and people are, they are being exposed to criminal things and, people harming each other and hatred and all this. So everything that you taught them goes out of the window. I said, no. I told them that, when you are at a lower level, you will be able to see from that level only. But when you are at a higher level, you will be able to see all the levels, and you will be able to relate to all the levels. Hence, raise yourself up to that higher level of spirituality. The broadest understanding comes from the seed that is centered in love, and not the seed that is centered in hatred. From there, what you would get is the narrowest understanding. So friends, what does the spirituality do? Spirituality gives us an expansion of awareness, and that's the only thing we need. We have to expand our awareness. When we are self-centered, when we think only about ourselves and not of the people around us, we are being selfish. We are denying the very object of spirituality. We have these five fingers. Five fingers are like, different fingers have different function. In the same way, educational needs are different. But today, what we are following is the assembly line approach. Means same for everyone. Even if we follow this assembly line approach, let us give the children spiritual education. That is what I would say time and again, so that their ultimate purpose is to learn to be truly happy, because money cannot buy happiness. With this, I conclude that spiritual sensitivity is the most sensitive issue of today. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you,
Thank
Sylvia.
you so much, ma'am, for telling us what spiritual education is all about. Bringing elements like joy and things that we don't even give so much importance. Awareness. Fantastic, ma'am. Thank you so much for your inputs. I request you to stay back for the panel discussion.
Sure.
And this is our way of saying thank you to you for your time, your effort, and your knowledge that you're sharing with us. The World
Thank you.
United presents, presents the Global Transformation Festival Certificate of Speaker to Dr. Payal Advani for being an esteemed speaker in the Global Transformation Festival 2021 India. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Sylvia.
much, and we
Thank
would like to hear more from you in some time. Thank you, ma'am.